The year is 2050. What doesn't exist anymore and why? Real answer. Pennies. As a former newspaper writer, I can almost assuredly say, newspapers. I think that newspaper brands will still exist, just maybe not necessarily in the same medium. How will people line their bird cages? Jetpacks, because they were too much fun. You mean because one freaking teenager had an accident and his parents sued the company? This was the text my sister was reading before her jetpack slammed into a mountainside. Ironically, Dippin' Dots. Hipsters will still eat it while they read their newspapers. The ice cream of the future past. But, it's the ice cream of the future. From the distant year of 1998. I love that a product can still have that tagline, and be nostalgic at the same time. WinRAR's trial time. Landline telephones. Video stores. When I hear the year 2050 I only think about Sid Meier's civilization. That future will be boring and vague. All they ever research is future tech. The hell is that? +1 happiness +1 health for all cities. Maybe we'll finally have that aqueduct. That mass of cables behind the PC. Everything including power will be wireless and it will be glorious. Yes, but we will have 17 wireless communication standards. Today we have 2, 3, 4G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, RFID, DECT, and none will be compatible. And, instead of futuresque everything is magically connected, it will be a chaos of proprietary reinventions of a standard. Probably me, because I'll be 93. Not if they get rid of death. Actually there's serious progress being made in the understanding of aging. 2050 is probably a little early, but it's not impossible we'll be able to very significantly increase lifespan this century. I've heard 2045 is the year when certain people will be able to digitally preserve their brain forever. I'd do it. I can totally wait a couple 100 years hardwired into the internet till I can be uploaded into a robot or cyborg. Super late at it, because weed. The reason I say 2045 is because it said so in the Popular Science magazine. And yes, I know that lots of the stuff in there is just blue sky thinking and many things in there never get past prototypes, but hey, eventually man. I for one am so thankful for when I was born. I'll die before I can preserve myself. I won't have to worry about it now. Just sit back and watch everyone race to stay young, and then blip, nothingness. Yay. I'll only be 69 most of that year. I have a friend that now in our 30s still laughs at the number 69. If he's still around I'll have to deal with that for almost that entire year. The Simpsons. Maybe, never fear, they've got plotlines for years. Like, Marge becomes a robot. Maybe Mo gets a cell phone? Has Bart ever owned a bear? Solid answer. Floppy disks. The save button will be upgraded to a compact disc, which will also be extinct. But you can't normally write to a CD. Fine. A USB drive then. But they come in so many shapes and sizes, it won't be universal. It won't be updated until there is a new ubiquitous mass storage device that must conform to a square or nearly square form factor. And I will bet you that mass storage device will wind up looking like a floppy disk anyway. Plus, computer users hate change. Hopefully cancer. Replaced by some new affliction. 1800s. TB afflicts random people, how does it work? 1900s. Figured out TB. Holy crap, cancer? 2000s. Figured out cancer. Holy crap, MRTS. Malevolent rotating testicle syndrome? I read it as MRSA first, since that's a thing, then realized he said MRTS. So then I googled it, and the first result was mass rapid transit system. So, we're going to be infected with trains. I can only hope. Hopefully, the 10 MB file size limit on email attachments. Get Gmail. Good god, man. 25 MB isn't that much better, at least for me. Oh, no worries, I have Gmail. But most of the archaic barbarians I occasionally have to share files with refuse to understand the advantage of the Google. Better yet, People who don't understand the many reasons why emailing isn't a good way to share files. The Maldives, lowest lying country in the world. Climate change is a bitch. Well, good riddance. Why do we need to keep countries that are the lowest liars? A lot of popular websites, 4chan, Facebook, Reddit, etc. will have gotten better alternatives by then. Something better than Reddit? Well, in that case productivity will be completely gone by 2050. You won't even have to click. It will just flash pictures at your face and detect if you smile or not and use that to cater to your tastes. Rate content. It will also find out how long it can wait before you forget stuff so it can show it again and satisfy you. Why wait for the smile? Just intercept your feelings at the neurons. You're hired. Computers as discrete things you have on your desk. They'll be all over the place, often unnoticed. Sounds exactly like my old research topic. Pervasive computing. Natural progression of computing. Many users one computer, one user one computer, one user, many computers. We're already there in a lot of ways, but I think it will go much further soon. We're there I think. I believe a cell phone counts as a computer, as does a tablet and maybe even a game console. If you define a computer as a processor calculating 1s and 0s, I have 6 computers. My student loans. Hopefully, I wouldn't hold my breath. Gets written off after 30 years in the UK. Only 29 years to go. People born in 1928. How that hurts. My mum was born that year. Good lord. How old are you? Old enough to party. Good enough. Please, dear Odin, let it be fax machines. There is absolutely no reason for them to still exist. We have 2 fax lines in my office. They only get used for spammy junk faxes that tell us how we have won a free trip to the Bahamas. Or how we have been pre-approved for a $50,000 business loan. Most people don't even know how to use a fax machine. You don't use a fax machine. You put stuff in the fax machine, and if it feels you're worthy, it may fax it. And then it starts making noises in pain. Why barbam bbzzzzbi still biepp alive? It's just trying to keep up with today's music. Chemotherapy. Grandpa, you're telling me that cancer patients were pumped full of poison to kill their cancer? Yes. Don't be a wise ass. Use your eye googler to order pappy some scotch. Met with an circa 85% cure rate for childhood acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Can't complain. The History Channel will run a program on the history of pawn shop shows, which will hopefully be gone. Unfortunately, given their current lineup of programs, they'll be more likely broadcasting shows about paranormal events in pawn shops. The lady trying to pawn her car didn't make her payments on this haunted antique Fiat, so now we need to repossess it. And then auction it. The auction house is in Alaska. The only route is an icy road, full of truckers fighting off attacks by Japanese whalers. Peen. Because Japanese robots. The Earth, to make way for a hyperspace bypass. It's really our fault. We should have checked the notice board. They've been in our galactic planning office for over 50 years. If anybody is interested, it's on display in the cellar in the bottom of a locked filing cabinet stuck in a disused lavatory with a sign on the door saying beware of the leopard. Careful, as the stairs are missing. So is the light. You need to build bypasses. Hopefully MTV, because it's freaking terrible. It might start showing music videos again. Remember the good old days, when MTV used to show reality shows? Paper currency in industrialized countries. We will all be using electronic payments for everything. While official currency may disappear, people will always have a way to keep track of societal credit in a non-traceable form. No matter what else happens, there will always be a black market, and a way to trade within it. Stones of Jordan. Privacy. New tech is getting more and more invasive and keeps a close check on our movements and activities. This is compounded by our increased dependence on interconnectivity on various platforms, including social media, phone data, internet usage and bank activity, apart from the usual public surveillance. Everyone says this coming generation is awful, because every time a 13-year-old has a thought it goes public. I imagine that by 2050 every time a 5-year-old has a thought it will be publicized. And people will complain about those kids so much. I'm sorry, sir, we can't hire you, because 20 years ago, you claimed you hated bedtime and went poopy outside once. It's right here in the archives. Cars that are driven by humans. You're in a Johnny cab. The fare is 18 credits. Sue me, donghead. Yeg. Reddit. Sad face. A look at internet trends reveals that Reddit will be gone within the decade. Thank God. Someone will need to pry my cold fingers off of this ride. If Reddit dies, I'll probably be salvaging all of the top submissions over and over, like a coke addict that dropped her stash on the floor. Purple links. Purple links. There will be something equally as cancerous to take its place. 5chan. Google changed their name to Skynet. They then rule over the world and purposely kill everyone for shits and giggles. Toilet paper. We're going to have to use the 3 seashells. How do they work? Highway. He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. My virginity hopefully. Either poverty or peace. I am a pessimist. It seems reasonable. I think by then movie theaters will be gone. The price to see a movie keeps going up and drives away moviegoers. They will come up with a direct-to-consumer approach. The big screen with a custom sound system in an acoustically tuned room are a pretty big draw for people. I just don't see it happening, because cinemas have deals worked out with movie studios ensuring that they are the first to get the movies and that DVD production is delayed for a month or two. I really don't see that changing anytime soon.